to the weekly roundup on SA Footballer TV. I'm Tommy Javor with
Darcy Evans.
The great Darcy Evans.
TJ?
I'm good, mate, and thanks to all our great sponsors, as you can see them behind us, and thanks to the Portland Hotel for hosting us. And it was a big weekend, wasn't it, Darcy?
It was a huge weekend for us. Our very first made history, first live call of a amateur league game up Perthering Grover, Tetra Grey versus Paynor Unit, and it went down very well. And it was a good fun to do
the results.
Well,
so. It'll be flashing up on the screen the whole time what you can do if you want the live call at your club. But let's get straight onto the results of Division 5 for round 8, because it was huge for one club in particular. Elizabeth have been doing it tough. The Eagles have had a rough couple of years, and they hadn't broken the duck till Saturday. And I guarantee you the boys were partying down Elizabeth, because it was Elizabeth 17-10, 112. Too good for Pulteney 13-11, 89. I think we all tipped this one actually, that this would be the game where Elizabeth would break their duck, and they did. It was Shepherd with 5, Taylor with 4, Han and Brown and James with doubles, whilst the better players for Elizabeth were Thom, I guess that's how you say it, Han, Abbott, James and Taylor. What's the Pulteney, Das?
Yeah, Pulteney, Haber with 2, Jensen with 2, Darty with 2, Curry with 2, so they spread around and individuals to 6 other players, so they did spread around Pulteney. Not a bad score there by Pulteney. Again, each side could have won this game for the first win of the season, but it was Elizabeth at the end, and Pulteney unfortunately still haven't won a game yet. So, but the best players for Pulteney come out with Forbes, Frick, Harvey, Kikianis and Kimber.
Yes.
So they certainly did spread around a bit, both sides with the goals, for a very, very high scoring game for the bottom two sides. Getting hit out.
And that puts Pulteney still yet to win in bottom spot, so things not going well down at Pulteney. A team that's really turned it around, they seem to have found their mark in this division this year, is Hectorville. 20 goals, 13, 133. Well, they've belted Greenacres, 10, 12, 72. They were up by 2 goals at the quarter, 4 goals at the half, and 10 goals. They really turned it on in the third, kicking 8 goals for, to have a very strong win. Chief goal kickers for Hectorville were Sawwald. Well, I think that's it. So Sawwald kicked 6, Watton 5, Mazzoni kicked 3, Broadbent kicked a couple, whilst better players were Francis Thwaites and Sawwald for Greenacres, Das.
Clark ran Tasser with 3, Little with 3, then Clark ran Tasser again for 6. So we had Jay, Clark ran Tasser, just the individuals, and the best players, Wheaton, Clark ran Tasser. Of course, that's Jay.
They both start with Jay.
Then Little, Smith and Rawlings. So,
Smith in the best players for the first time this year, which is good to see. Yep. So the ageless player there. And good to see my boy Zachy Stevenson in Hectorville's best as well. One that I term an upset, got this one wrong, mate. I always put my hand up when I get it wrong. It doesn't happen very often. And that was CBC Old Collegians going down at home at East Parklands, which they tend to play pretty well. But Glenunga have improved. We said it was going to come, and it was bad kicking that was CBC's enemy. 7 goals, 17, 59 to Glenunga's 12, 15, 87. Goal kickers and best players for the winners, please, mate.
For the winners we have, that would be Glenunga, which is, Roberts with 4, Venning with 3, Ellis with 2, and singles to 6 players, 4 or 5 players spreading around. Best players, Ward, Venning, Victor, Roberts and Henke.
Yes, so good win there. And for CBC, only the one multiple goal kicker, and that was Yatey, whilst Williams, Glenn and Dubrich were their better players. And a crucial win for Glenunga. It sees them in 6th place, and I think we talked about this a bit last week. Glenunga in 6th place, CBC in 7th, so they've taken their spot from them, and they're still a couple of games outside the 5, but they've got to keep winning, and it's a fantastic start there. So our next one, mate, I'll leave that one to last, because that was the upset of the round, tipped by only one person in all forms of media.
Is that you?
No, me. I got it. I even sent some text out as soon as I read this result. But we'll get on to this one first. This one was Blackfriars, too good at home for Smithfield, 15-10, 100 to Smithfield, 11-17, 83, 17-point margin, and look, it was a 19-point margin at 3/4 time, 10-point margin after time. But I tell you what, Smithfield, they had their chances. They jumped out the blocks early, 4-6-30 to 1-3-9.
Quarter time.
Yep.
Massive.
But then 8 goals, 5 in the second quarter to Blackfriars. And you can't say it was a win going one way, because Smithfield was still able to kick 3 goals, 4. So better players for the winners, please, mate. That was Blackfriars.
No, Hillman with 4, Brincat with 3, Valenti with 3, Marsho with 2, and Martino. And singles to 3 players, and then Delamalba, Grick, Vogue, Brincat.
It's Fokvu.
You put this on me, did you? You just saw all the hard names of Darcy over to you. That's so great. Brincat, Fackner and Hogan the best players.
Highly multicultural school, Blackfriars was.
It was certainly indeed.
For Smithies, it was Webber with 6, probably not getting enough help from his mates, just 3 single goal scorers. Webber was in their best with Tomo and Stewart. But the one, mate, the one that had me frothing at the Sunday Mail on Sunday morning, because no one could see it coming,
no,
it's had a feeling. When Steamboat gets afloat, he goes toot toot, and they get on the boat. Just that was off the cuff.
Didn't hear it then. He's usually hear it in the background. No, he's not doing it there.
It was Rosewater, 14 goals, 19, 103. Lockleys, 13, 7, 95. One of the reasons why I tipped was that Eric Sutton, they needed to turn it on, they did. So better players and goalkeepers for Rosewater. Marnie kicked 4. Doubles to Birch and his brother. Marnie's brother, B. Marnie. Better players for, and a host of singles, better players for Rosewater with Pepe, Lockwood, Marnie, Reardon and Williams. No diff in there, but apparently he tells us he was superb.
Handed out plenty, probably would have said too.
There's no stats column for how many you give off. I know, I'll be suffering with that one. For Lockleys, mate, who had probably an off day, it's fair to say.
Yeah, so Russo with 2, Darcy with 2, Jones with 2, Mackenzie with 2, so spreading out all the 2s, and there's 6 other players with singles. Then best players, Patton, Pavic, Jones, Voisey and Bradford. So yeah, they're spread around a bit. 14-19 to 13-17, so a lot of points scored in that game. So probably it could have gone either way with a few of those points turned to goals. We don't know what the scores were at each break, but it would have been handy to see if Rosewater took control from the whole game. But a good win by Rosewater nonetheless.
Certainly was, mate. And leading goalkeepers, Chetty Burke stays on top with another good haul, 34, Webber with 28, and then 3 players on 23 in the form of Shepherd from Elizabeth, Aish from Pulteney, and Tommy Lee Russo from Lockleys. That's a pretty cool name.
Very cool name, Russo.
All right, and the ladder, mate, I reckon it's a big call. Round 8, it's the 5 set. Hectorville on top with Blackfriars at 7 and 1, Lockleys 6 and 2 with Rosewater. That's the top 4 for mine. Not surprisingly, they're in the top 4 positions. Smithfield are 5th on 5 and 3. Nipping at the heels, Glenunga and CBC a couple of games back, but certainly very dangerous and could take the 5th spot from Smithfield. Greenacres in 8th, whilst Elizabeth with their first win move off the bottom into 9th, and Pulteney find themselves in a position I think they'll be for the rest of the year. That position would be 10th.
But I think Smithfield's the only one in danger there and not making the 5. I think that, as you said, the top 4 are probably a bit in concrete halfway through the season. So there's Glenunga and Seabot probably trying to fight that for that 5th spot.
When we talked about Smithfield, they had a couple of years undefeated there and they were going to be challenged. And the challenges come. It'll be interesting to see how they respond now. They're certainly not going to dominate like they have previously. The loss of Bellman, we've talked about it, has been crucial. But we'll see how they bounce back. There's a long way to go. And we've got some good games this week, mate. The first one is Greenacres at Glenunga. It's at Edward Smith Reserve on Grand Junction Road there. Your thoughts?
So I've said Glenunga to make any sort of form to be in the 5 must win this week, because it's again Greenacres who are sitting in 8th spot. They've got the best chance of still keeping their toes in the 5th spot, so I'm going for Glenunga. I did it again. Glenunga by a good margin.
It's a game, and you hate to say silly, make big statements just for the sake of it in round 9, but I don't see the loser of this game being able to make the 5.
No,
you'll fall
not.
3 games outside.
Yep.
Now, mathematically, obviously, you can if you win your last 9 games, but you need everything to fall in place. This is a must-win game. I think Glenunga have 3 and 5 is not a great record, but they've been consistent this year, and I think that consistency will just get them over the line, as you said. We'll come back. That's our match of the round, mate. We'll talk that one up a little bit. We'll go down to Pulteney and Rosewater. Pulteney haven't won a game. Rosewater are starting to hit their straps, and Rosewater will win and win comfortably at Morgan Oval.
Certainly will. No, poor old Pulteney. They're not having a good run at the moment, and this week's not going to make it any different.
Rosewater, led by Steamboat, they'll find a way under Steamboat to do amazing things. But one thing will happen with Steamboat is I can't see them dropping a game like this.
No, definitely. He's done well, Steamboat. Coming to a brand new club, and he's sort of turned it around a bit, so I think good on him too.
Well, Trevor Gregg takes a lot of the credit for it, but Steamboat's probably done a bit as well.
The
Battle of the Colleges, mate. Blackfriars, Old Scholars and CBC Old Collegians. We could dress it up a little bit, but Blackfriars have been ultra consistent at 7 and 1, and I think they've got a little bit of unfinished business from last year. Their finals demise. They'll win this comfortably.
Well, Seabot need to win to keep their finals hopes alive, but not this week.
And the battle of the boys from the north. Smithies and Elizabeth. Elizabeth be cock-a-hoop after their first win. Can they go back to back?
No, not unlikely. Smithfield, again, this is a must-win out there. I know they're probably around the corner from each other, but Smithfield...
It's not actually a corner. It's straight down the road.
Straight down the road,
Straight down the old main north road.
And but no, Smithfield to stay in the 5. There could even be 3 games clear after this week if Glenunga and Seabok don't get up. So certainly going for.
The way Smithfield could miss finals is dropping games like this. They can't afford to do it.
Exactly.
Going to be interesting to see if Elizabeth are starting to find some form. It was a bit of a letdown after that first win, who knows. But Smithfield for mine. Game of the round. Lockleys and Hectorville. Is it first and third? It is.
It is first and third. So
it's at Lockleys Oval. Lockleys coming off the loss. Hectorville again, another good win.
I'm going for Lockleys for the...
I haven't said who I'm tipping yet. I'm just looking at you.
Oh. I'm going for Lockleys after that shock one last week. So Lockleys at Lockleys. Hard to beat their home crowd behind them by just under a goal.
Well, that's a very close game. I like Lockleys as well. I think they'll be too strong in that one. I think they'll bounce back from what would be a disappointing loss for them. They would have gone to last week's game thinking, well, Wayne Knowles said he thought they'd win comfortably. So, all right, that's been the Division 5 Weekly Roundup. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week.
See you later.